Welcome to Broad Ideas. Hello.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2024.
Oh my God.
Oof.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
I saw like 1999 somewhere.
1989 was the Taylor Swift album.
99. The year I graduated high school, and I'm like, that was so long ago.
That was when the world was supposed to collapse, remember? Y2K.
Oh, yeah.
25 years
Y2K.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my mom's house with my then high school boyfriend.
Shout out. No.
No. And yeah, we were like, we're waiting. Is the world going to end? Guess what?
It didn't.
It did.
Maybe it did.
In a lot of ways, it did.
Oh my God. Yes. Crazy.
All right, this week we've got Katey Sagal
Yeah.
on.
Oh, right.
Is it like?
Is something wrong?
Is it like being with an old person?
It's not like being with
It's
someone
not,
else.
right?
You guys, growing up, if I think of my childhood, there is one show that instantly comes to mind, and it's Married with Children. It was everything. We all watched it. My grandfather, my pop-pop, oh my gosh, he loved imitating Al Bundy. Anyway, Peggy Bundy, Katey Sagal joins us today, an icon. So excited. Olivia and I think one of our first bonding experiences was Married with Children.
Dun, 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 vegetable garden. Dun, 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 dun. Peace.
Yeah. We have so many, and we could go on for hours.
Him.
Anyway, she joins us today. We're very, very excited. She's amazing. Let's have Katey join us.
So yeah, we were saying, they were like, are you excited about today? And we both said, and we've talked to so many amazing people, but we both said we're a little nervous.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh,
No,
well,
it's true.
You're
the
beyond iconic.
You're the real
everything.
deal.
Like my whole life, though. But yeah, so one of the things that Olivia and I have been best friends for almost 30 years, but one of the first things we bonded on, because as kids, like growing up and everything, was Married with Children, obviously. I'm saying it. And it was my life. And my grandpa's favorite, just like it was such an important part of growing up. And we often
vegetable
garden. That comes out a lot.
Which song?
I had a feeling because Katey told me that you are like me and your memory.
Yeah.
No, like we did a rewatch of the show I was on and I don't remember. I'm like, not a single scene. I'm like, I don't remember. So
Yeah.
there's a jingle that I believe
In an episode?
Yes.
Al sings.
He starts a vegetable garden.
Okay.
Do you remember this? And
Sort of.
Vegetable garden. Peace.
Oh my
And he goes through all the.
But this is our thing. So it's one of the first things that we
Wow.
bonded over.
That's so wild.
We couldn't not say just because of how iconic you and that and everything.
No, I don't. I'm like, I sort of forget them as I leave them
Yeah,
on the day.
right.
So I don't know what that is exactly. Some part of it I'm kind of sad about that lately in my life.
Yeah.
When I think about, I think that when I was doing some of that work, I was so in my child rearing and my husbanding and my marriage. I feel like I missed a lot of it. Like I
Right.
was just not present enough for it all. So I just feel like I kind of missed a lot.
Right.
Of it.
Well, that's so interesting because you were raising children, right? You're saying you were in that while
Yes.
working.
Right.
And it's such a unique thing. And I can relate because I have a young daughter. And anytime I've had to do it, you do feel like the real you is elsewhere.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And
then you're kind of, it's, I feel really blessed, which I'm sure you do too, in that I had a job where I could have babies on my job
Right.
and bring my babies to the job. And so I was so grateful for that, but it was still, it's just so different now when there's more time to be present. And so I feel like, okay, now I'm experiencing my life. Whereas before, I think I have to be reminded of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Do you think that that's because you have more space from it as far as like being so in it with the kids and all of that? Or do you think that's actual maturity and your evolution as a human?
Oh, I think it's both. I think, my older ones are in their 20s now and basically, and doing well. I mean, they're around a lot, more so than I thought like they were going to, get to a certain point and bye-bye. We're all very close. So I see them a lot and they're around a lot and they still need a lot. And so, so there's that, but then I still have a 16-year-old at home. So I think it's a combination of prioritizing and a combination of, yes, and getting older and having the more realization that time is limited. And so that you decide to be more mindful. You just decide, okay, I need to be where I am. So,
Yeah.
because I want to know where I am.
Right.
Oof.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a super good way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But just even hearing it, it's like, oh, it's reminding me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's hard and it's hard to be present in everything. And I can't believe you still have a 16-year-old at home. So
I
that's
do.
still high school. And
I know. I'm like the oldest mom in school.
No.
I had a third child with my third husband. I've just been alive a long time.
I like how you say it though.
Third child, third husband. And I had her when I was 50 with a surrogate.
Oh,
And
wow.
this was a decision that we made because I met my husband, my current husband, and he had never had his own children. And he was step parenting my two little ones, 4 and 6. And at the beginning, I actually on our first date, I think or like within the first week, I knew, oh, I like this guy. So I cut to the chase. I was like, look, I'm like 5 years older than you. So if you're going to want to have kids, you better like say it now.
right.
And he didn't. So I thought, okay, great. And then about 5 years down the line, we both started thinking about it. So we had frozen things and we decided to use a surrogate. And so I have Esme. She's 16.
I love that name. I know. I read that you had a daughter via surrogate, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about that journey.
Oh, it's quite a journey.
Right? How was that for you?
It was actually easy. We were trying to either adopt or do surrogacy. So we sort of thought, let's try both. Adoption was way harder because when you go to adopt, the mother has all the say. And this was very difficult for me because the lawyers were like, you can't ask any questions. Like I couldn't say, are you taking prenatal vitamins? Have you ever done drugs? Do you drink? You're not allowed to ask anything because they're supposed to choose you, right? It was kind of this set of rules, which I just have a big mouth and it was very difficult for me not to ask those kinds of questions. So, and then surrogacy, my husband had never had his own bio kid. So it was like, I think that was his preference really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that was quite a journey too, finding a surrogate, finding an agency, then getting to know the surrogate and being at all the doctor's appointments with the surrogate and being there at the delivery. And Esme came right onto me.
Oh,
right as she popped out of the chute, she came right onto me and latched on. I mean, it was really interesting.
Wow.
And I did that thing for a couple of weeks, with the thing around your neck and the tube and the thing. And, we would go pick up breast milk at a gas station. It was like a drug deal or something. It was like crazy. It was like in the middle of the night, we're driving to a gas station to pick up breast milk. And we lasted about 2 weeks on it. But at least she got the initial good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was quite a journey.
Yeah. We've heard people talk about their journey, just the relationship you have with the surrogate and picking it, but it's like a real, I don't know, bonding, or it could probably be different for everyone, but.
Yeah, it's different. We decided not to continue the relationship. Mm-hmm. We felt, and I think that what happens is like I sort of started to feel like her mom a little bit.
Right.
Every doctor's appointment, how are your vitamins, sending her a housekeeper. She was this very sweet woman who had already had 3 children and her husband was in the military. So she was, she definitely was stretched. And, so we we were there as much as possible. We found her in Thousand Oaks, so it was a drivable situation. And then after Esme was born, though, we really made the decision that it was best to cut ties.
Yeah.
And that was our choice,
Yeah.
and worked out just better for us. And that's
Right.
what we've done.
Right.
So,
I
Yeah.
feel like that would be the only way I could do it. Even like my husband and I have considered adopting or fostering. And I'm like, I just don't want any relationship with anybody else's family at this point. I've got my own family. We've got our own. It's a lot. And bringing anyone else into that mix
I know.
it's a lot.
Well, and I think then until the child is 18 and has a say, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Then, a lot of adopted children want to go find their bio people.
Right.
So
Yeah,
then it's a different
Yeah.
conversation. But
totally.
as they're growing up, I understand that.
Yeah.
Totally. But I
Yeah.
also think there's a difference in, I never know what I can and can't say, but I do, between,
I know.
between adoption and surrogacy, because surrogacy is like your
Yes,
child.
absolutely. In
adopt-
a different oven.
Yes.
That's
Right.
a
how we
different
explain
oven.
it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which to me feels safer because at least you know what you're getting. That's my biggest concern is like in my family history, I would never, ever, yes, I've had children, but I would never donate eggs because I'd be like, you're getting lineages of alcoholism. You're getting all the DNA of these people. And especially if you can't ask questions of what's your mental health like, what's your, all of those kind of things, that's really taking on a lot.
It was a lot when they, when the lawyer, and then there's the whole celebrity part of it. And if they, you talk to somebody on the phone and they would recognize my voice, and then it was all of a sudden like, oh my God, this person, why are we talking on the phone right now?
Yeah.
And it's a lot. Unless you're going to go do, like I have a friend who has 2 adopted sons through the city. It's not a close.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference in
Like an
the
open-
terminology.
Closed or open.
Yeah.
but not through a lawyer. But he literally went and adopted children, which there are many, and just took what he got. And
Uh-huh.
it's worked out, but challenges for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but all kids have
All
challenges.
kids have challenges.
There's challenges. Yes.
That's the truth.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
They all
I'm
come with
telling
stuff.
me.
They all come with stuff.
Yeah,
It's hard being a parent.
it's hard, but it's so rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
Wait till how old are your kids?
Mine's
or
almost
daughter?
9.
9. And how about you?
7 and 4.
Oh, you guys are in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
are in it.
Oh yeah.
I think every year is kind of every year I would say, oh, this is my favorite year.
Yeah.
Even as teenagers, I have not had a rough go. Like my son, I remember dropping him off in the 8th, 9th grade, and he'd always hug and kiss me goodbye in front of all his friends. He didn't care. And he still hugs and kisses me all the time. He's just
That's so nice.
lovely. And my daughter, too, I never had any of that stuff.
Hmm.
And even my 16-year-old now, she's just a love. Absolutely. So none of that horrible stuff. But I think now my 20-year-old, it is such a great relationship to have with like people. I mean,
Mhm.
they're people with opinions,
Right.
and
Yeah.
lives, and it's
Right.
wonderful. It's
Are
really
they
great.
away in college? Are they?
No, Sarah is my oldest. She's 29. She just put out an EP, and she's a songwriter, also an
Amazing.
actor, and she's like an amazing writer, amazing singer. She's great at all of it. It's hard to have children in the arts right now because it's a very different world.
Mhm.
My son is actually on a TV show called Tell Me Lies on
Mhm.
Hulu.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's a really
Jackson is-
popular show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of kicking ass right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And he started as a drummer. He was not going to be an actor at all. But so he's in it. And then my youngest wants to be with plants. She loves
Okay,
plants
love
and
that.
nature and could care less about all this stuff.
Wow.
Doesn't want to do any of this.
None
So
of the.
we're
Yeah.
kind of relieved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hope
Right.
for a doctor, but just
It's equally as hard.
equally as hard.
It
but
is.
would be really helpful with older parents.
That's
You're like,
true.
listen, do us a favor.
Just be a doctor.
Just be a doctor.
How was that for you, though, when they said to you that they wanted to do that? Because I know the thing about you that we love and respect the most is all the things you're good at. which it's annoying that you can also sing.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that sucks for us. But so your children probably got all of those skills, right? From
their, yes.
Yes,
your
Sarah
family.
Jackson's bio dad is also a drummer,
Ah.
a musician, and music has always been a part of our lives.
Mhm.
So, we're that family that sings at the holidays and every
Aw.
niece and nephew. I have a nephew who's an opera singer. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
unreal, like
Wow.
22-year-old major opera singer. And so they grew up around it. They're all really talented. And there was a part of me that felt like, well, this is not necessarily the most practical road you're going down. However, they're both really good.
Yeah.
And I also feel so blessed to have been able to be an artist from what we do that how can you really deny it? And so, I think they're both going through what we've all been through with like, employment, not employment, but it's just, but they're good at what they do. And I would be the first one to say, you know what? Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's
Find
so
something
funny.
else.
We talked about that
did just
recently.
talk
Like,
about
are you
that.
the mom that's like the hype man no matter what? Like you're amazing or you're
or
realistic?
practical.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely be telling. Once I knew they were both very serious about it, I was like a really eagle eye on it,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what I should encourage. And they're both great. They're great.
Yeah.
So they're deserving of employment and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
I grew up in a household, a show business family. So my father was a director and my father didn't want me to be an actor.
Right.
Mm.
I'm sorry. Wanted me to be an actor,
Oh.
not a musician. He would prefer I did neither. But when I said to him, I just want to play my piano and write songs, which I had done since I was about 13. I said, that's what I want to do. And he would see me in these high school plays and he'd say, no, it's a better bet if you're an actor because then I can help you. In fact, he got me my first job when I was 16 so I could get a union card.
Oh my
Amazing.
God.
So I would
funny.
have health insurance,
Right.
Which in hindsight, I didn't realize that's what he was doing, but that's what he was doing. And as I was, getting towards college and I would say to him, no, I don't want to study acting. I'm a musician. I just am a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Dad, I want to go to Cal Arts where they have a great music department. And he said, well, if you can audition for the theater department and get in, I'll pay for you to go. And I was like, really? So I auditioned for the theater school and I did get in, because I think I had this like untapped natural something, but I only stayed 6 months and I would just be in the music school department all the time. I just really wanted to play music. So
That was your first love.
absolutely.
Is what? Yeah.
So this
Is
is
it
all my
still?
answer to,
Yeah.
is it still?
Yeah.
Well, now, I really learned acting on the job. I didn't study it really. And actors fucking hate when I say this.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it
It's
is.
what
But
it is.
I paid more dues as a musician for sure, all through my 20s. And it wasn't until I was in my late 20s when I realized, I better open up my scope. Like we were just talking about, it was that year that I think I was 28, 29. I was like, well, I'm not paying the bills. Maybe I should sell real estate. Maybe I better think of a plan B, which I'd never had a plan B.
Mm.
And it was around that time that I did I did a show that a friend of mine wrote, a little rock musical in this little dumpy theater in Pasadena. And an agent found me and asked if I wanted an agent. And my very first response was, no, I'm not going to be an actor. I was like, no, why would I do that? I'm a musician. She came back to the show like 3 times and she kept asking and I kept realizing. And so finally I said, oh, all right, okay.
Fine.
And literally within 6 months, I was doing a musical at the Taper and then I was on TV within a year.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's really insane.
It is, yeah.
It was insane. And, but I think I had, because I'd played music for so many years, I had sort of a natural ear for comedy. So it just kind of, actually, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. My very first job was with Mary Tyler Moore.
Wow.
And I remember her coming over to me putting my head in the light, telling me how to look like. I mean, and I was totally bullshitting. I was acting like I knew what was happening.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I got it. None of that. So, yeah, it's been something. So in answer to your question, is it still my first love? I love to play music. I always play music. I have a band, but we haven't been playing much at all. And, but we're talking about re-upping it. So, but I sit at home and play music and do that. But I love to act now. It was it grew on me as I started to actually take it seriously, which is only about 5 years into Married with Children. I realized, I better, because I would play on the weekends. I'd just go have a band.
Yeah.
And I thought, I better keep playing because this is going to go away. This won't really last.
Oh, wow.
And then as it started to last, and I was working with all these really good people, and then I started to study with a coach. I still work with a coach,
awesome.
because now I'm curious about it.
Yes.
Now I like the process of it.
Right.
And I really love the process of finding backstory and creating something. And so I enjoy them both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Broad Ideas is supported by Talkspace. Do you think seeing a therapist or psychiatrist would be helpful, but you don't have the time to actually find one and meet with them or afford them? Try Talkspace. By doing everything online, Talkspace has made getting the help you want easy, accessible, and affordable. When you've met your therapy goals or simply want to cancel, Talkspace has a simple cancellation process and will work with you to get a prorated refund for unused time if applicable. At Talkspace.com, you can sign up online and get a personalized match with the provider that's right for you, typically within 48 hours. It's incredibly convenient to have virtual sessions with your licensed therapist from the comfort of your home. Therapy can help you shift your perspective, find tools to cope in difficult times, and be a guiding light. Talkspace can help with any specific challenges you might be facing. It's the #1 online therapy platform with licensed therapists in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, relationship issues, and much more. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/ideas. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/ideas to get $80 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/ideas. Broad Ideas is supported by Paired. Okay, now let me tell you something. I think every couple, every person should have an app they turn to for fun, adding some spice, some laughs into the relationship. Okay, but seriously, it's called Paired. It's a relationship app for couples. You and your partner download the app, Pair, together, and every day, Paired gives you questions, quizzes, and games to have fun, stay connected, and deepen your conversations. You'll never believe what I found out about my partner, Olivia, through using Paired. That's right, it can be your best friend too. I never knew this story that she told me about her dad and carrots, and it brought a tear to my eye. It's simple and often hilarious. Each day you get a quiz to play or question to answer, and you cannot see your partner's answer until you answer yourself. Whether you're just a few dates in or have been together a long time, it's time to lighten the mood and have fun with your partner by using Paired. Head to paired.com/ideas to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off if you sign up for a subscription. Just head to paired.com/ideas to sign up today. Connect with your partner every day using Paired. A happier relationship starts here. It's so funny because you said, your first job was with Mary Tyler Moore. And I know Katey mentioned this to you, but my first job I ever had was on one of your shows.
She told me this.
Yeah.
Yes. I was glorified background. Okay. But it was my first job ever. The casting director was like, can you come in and just whatever. I was gum chewing girl, blowing bubbles. And I remember I know she told you this, but I was in hair and makeup or something. And you kind of looked at me and I was already so, fangirl, I was like, oh my God. And you were like, yeah, your face. You said something and I was like,
tell her what she said.
What did she say?
She pointed at you
I don't want to
and said, you're a star.
I don't think that's what
That's what you told me.
Well,
I might have said that.
That you looked at her and said, that face.
You said that face. That's
you
what I
said
remember.
that face. you're a star. You're going somewhere.
Or you're going somewhere.
Oh.
I'm sure I might have said that.
It was
Yeah.
something along those lines for sure. And I have no memory, like I said, but
I do.
like when it happened.
Accept the compliment.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I'm like sweating.
I know.
But yeah, but it was like such a moment. And I was like, oh my God. It was, and that was the first job I ever had. And it was just the most.
It was your Mary Tyler Moore moment.
It was my Mary Tyler, it was like
So
an
sweet.
icon, and anyway.
Was it 8 Simple Rules,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was
And
8
you were
Simple
with
Rules.
John. You were with
Who
the
was-
biggest icon.
Yes.
He was the nicest
The
man.
nicest.
Oh,
And piss in your pants funny.
oh my God.
I mean, he was just constantly, an amazing person.
What an amazing, yeah. And even just
An
being
angel.
around the little amount I was, it was so explosive, like him,
Oh, yeah.
and I was just like,
You have to have Kaylee on your show and have her talk about John.
oh my God. Well, yeah.
She just, he really took her under his wing. I mean, he loved us all, but Kaylee would not stop laughing at John. I mean, and she was all of 16 years old and he was so funny. I mean, he was just a fantastic person.
An amazing human.
Yeah.
I remember just being gutted when I heard that news, of his passing. It was
gutting.
I,
Horrible.
yeah, horrible. But what an amazing man.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Very much so.
Yes, even the little amount. But it's just so funny to have had that experience and with you. And then now just,
I had the same experience with Anne Hathaway, actually.
Yeah.
Because she had just started and I went to the premiere of The Princess whatever her first movie was.
Princess
Princess
Diaries.
Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
And I went up to her after the thing and I was just like, wow, you were amazing. You're so fantastic. And I, not thinking anything. And then years later, I think I saw her at something and she remembered it. And she came over to me and she said, thank you for saying that. That really helped. And I was like, I don't know. The longer I do this, I think it's all about that. It's just all about really, this sounds cheesy, but helping each other. It's really about what
it's
it's
true.
about.
And the support.
And also,
Supporting.
I think that it is such a fragile thing in acting that there is that kind of need for validation.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
constant.
there is. And for someone to just be generous and be like, hey, you're doing good or you're great or anything that is really not too much for someone to do, but means the absolute world on the receiving end. It's like, how can we be more generous of spirit to let people know how they're affecting us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's saying the thing that you just assume somebody knows
Right.
and stepping out of that and telling them. I tell my kids this all the time too, because it is such a rejecting business.
Yeah.
It is really difficult to get a yes. It's mostly about a no.
Mhm.
And, you have to be your own advocate. You have to you have to tell yourself that I'm going to do this
Right.
and I'm going to do this no matter what. And they've said no one more time, but it's like what I tell young people all the time. It's like, you better really fucking want to do this
Right.
because this is too brutal if you don't. And, so yes, I do believe that spirit of those of us that have gotten, there's like, you're over the fence, right? You're in the pool.
Yep.
So once you're in the pool, I think it's sort of a responsibility to then assure people that you notice got something going on that maybe you're not quite over the fence yet, that, keep going.
Keep
You're-
going.
You're on the right path.
Right.
Now, I don't think I would say the opposite. I don't think I would just have the balls to say to somebody, hey, you know what?
Quit.
This isn't going to happen for you.
But, I think that we all have to, what we do is a fragile business. It's a
Yeah.
really,
It really is. I know. And, my daughter's already showing signs of all the things,
all the things.
wanting to perform, although she's in her Taylor Swift era. So she wants to take guitar lessons and write songs.
Great.
Great. I know. I'm like definitely more supportive of that than like.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I'll say this because my experience was a little bit different, whereas I always wanted to act and then it became too painful. I took a step away and tried to be a normal human, and that hurt more.
Oh, interesting. You mean
So-
letting go of your art.
Yeah. So then I went back into it. But the truth of the matter is, if you have that thing that burns inside of you and you go try and be a doctor or you go try and be a lawyer or any of the things and you still have that thing, it's equally as painful. So you're dealing with one, either rejection, or two, suffocating your dream. You're kind of screwed either way.
Yeah.
You know, so you might as well do the thing you like to do if you're going to
Absolutely.
suffer anyways. That's my
Right.
That is so true. And, you know, it's hard to tell that to somebody who's being a waitress during the day and trying to find time to get to an audition that, you know, this is worth it if this is what your dream is. But, you know, that's what I did. That's what, you know, nothing was happening for me. I had to take side gigs all the time. And, you know, you just kind of, you do and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And don't think otherwise. I mean, it's so wild. You know, it's like, you just have, I mean, it's when I look back now, it's just really crazy what we do.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Insane.
But, you know, we are the lucky. So who's to say to our kids, this is what I would say about kids though, because my kids grew up in LA. They went to school in the Valley. They went to the West Side, you know, and all these kids were getting agents, you know, because we're in this town.
Right.
Yep.
They were getting agents when they were like 10 and 11. And I remember my kids coming to me and saying, hey, how about an agent? I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then my rule was like, once you can drive yourself to an audition, maybe we'll talk about it.
That's
But,
a good rule.
You
That's a
know,
good rule.
but there were so many kids that were doing that.
Right.
And I just didn't, but encouraging them to, first of all, playing music is the best thing I think you can encourage a child to do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing sports. So they have that community. But the music community in schools is a great community to be involved in.
That's good to know.
Healthy,
Love it.
you know, people that, you know, even the theater department, theater nerds are the best.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
best.
yeah. I mean, I was a
Healthy.
theater nerd.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
So, you know, I mean, I was in the music world, which ended up not being the healthiest for a while. However, the cuter boys were there.
The wild ones.
That's where I would be.
Absolutely.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's true though, you know, and putting the kids in, well, growing up in LA is one thing, right? And we're both from here. I grew up
Oh,
in
you
LA.
are?
In the
Yes.
Valley. Yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
Where'd
Valley
you go to high
girl.
school?
I went to Notre Dame.
Oh my God, you
Yeah.
did? So did my niece.
No way.
Yes, absolutely. Just graduated 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Went to Notre Dame. Where'd you go?
Grant High School
Grant
Which
High
is
School is
in the Valley.
Yes,
It's-
I do know
yeah,
Grant High
yeah.
School.
Yeah.
I went to Palisades High School.
Okay.
Did you go to
Yeah.
Pally? Oh my God.
I did. I went to Paul Revere Junior High School,
Paul
Warren
Revere.
Avenue Elementary
Yep.
School. I'm a native as
You're a
well.
Oh
native.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in Hollywood.
Which lends you to grow up really fast, right?
Really fast in a lot of ways, but also really not starstruck in a lot.
At
You're
all.
not
Yeah.
affected.
At
It's
all.
true
Yeah.
though. Like,
No.
Yeah.
Like, this was
It's
kind
not a
of
thing.
normal life. You know,
Mhm.
it's like when you come here from the middle of the country
Sure.
and you think this is going to be an easy run or something's just going to, you know, or you're just stars. You know, I grew up in a real practical family, working crew people, you
Yeah.
know, being a director is the crew. My mom
Right.
was a writer. It's,
wow.
so you kind of see it from that angle, not as glamorous.
Yeah. So we have a lot of similarities. Like
Yeah.
my family, my great grandparents started in the business.
Oh.
And my grandfather was a TV director. My dad was a TV director,
Who's your
writer.
dad?
Danny Bilson's his name. My grandpa's Bruce Bilson. Like my grandpa directed all the classics, like Marilee Tyler Moore, like Get Smart, Brady Bunch, like all of that
Knew my
stuff.
dad, I'm sure.
Oh my God,
dad
I bet,
did
I'm sure.
yeah.
Man from Uncle, Dr. Kildare.
Yeah, like all of
old
those
school.
shows. Yeah. And
yeah.
so, you know, we grew up here. He's 95. God bless his
Love
heart. I know.
that.
And he's in the Valley. But yeah, and growing up around it, and you would be on sets and, you know, so it's just kind of like,
Normal.
yeah.
In fact, that was when I finally liked my dad because he was not around a lot. And, you know, he was directing episodic television, which in those days was like crazier long hours than we work. And I didn't see him. And then he'd come home and be really grumpy. And, you know, I remember trying to get up really early in the mornings because he was in a really good mood then. And then he finally took me to the set, I was in elementary school. Not a lot of people liked me. I was kind of a geek. I was kind of weird. I just played my guitar and didn't talk to anyone. And so he took me to the set of Dr. Kildare and Man from Uncle. And then I realized I could bring these kids to the set. And then I had some friends.
Right.
Yeah. Now I'm
Right.
cool.
I knew I was cool then.
Yeah, you're like,
So-
let me show you craft service.
Yeah. And then also I loved my dad was so cool at work.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Because he was he's like
He
the
was
man on, yeah.
And everybody loved him and he was so wonderful. And I thought, oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Of
That's
course,
so
I couldn't
interesting.
live at school, at work with him, but
No, right.
Then he came home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just the similarities are funny. And I remember in 6th grade, like my friends and I, that's what we would do. We would go to set,
right.
hang out in the trailer, eat all the snacks,
Eat all the snacks.
you know,
Yeah,
go in
absolutely.
hair and makeup when
So
they.
you probably have a really practical knowledge of all this.
I like to think so, you know, and I think I'm very professional because
Right.
I get it. And my dad's advice to me always was, because it's a job, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
you do your job, you do it well. Simple.
Right.
Like that's the through line. And
Right.
so I've kind of always just been like, yeah, but I have appreciation for crew, everything, because I
right.
know both sides of it, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah.
I feel the same way. And
Yeah.
plus, you know, that it's not the magic pill, that fame and celebrity is not the thing
No.
that's going to, you know, it's just like when they say money doesn't make you happy, you know, it doesn't buy happiness. It helps, but you know,
Right. It definitely
Buys a little
you know, it's
freedom
bullshit, you
sometimes.
know,
Yeah.
but you know, celebrity is not, you know, I just meet a lot of people that just are like, they're always thinking it's over there. Like once I get there,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have it. Once I'm, you know, but there is no there, as
Right.
we
There's
say.
no
Yeah,
there there.
there's no there.
Yeah.
And I think you really get a sense of that when you grow up around this.
Yeah.
That, you know,
And for you, were you already stable in your life when you got your first gig? Like, no,
you mean as an actor?
no, not as an actor, as a person, because I know that you've had your journey with.
Oh, no. Yeah. We can talk about it, I think.
We can. If that's up to you.
It's okay
I mean,
with
I know
me.
it's in your book, but I don't know.
No, I'm totally cool. I'm in recovery. I think
Uh-huh.
it's been well documented. And I was not in recovery during my 20s. My
Okay.
20s was a rocky road for me and fun. I had a lot of fun. I was
Yeah.
on the road with a lot of bands and it was that lifestyle. And I was not in a theater world. I was in a music world. And
Right.
so it was very much, you know, encouraged. And you know, I got sober in mid 80s. So the beginning of the 80s, which was LA just on fire with all kinds of hard partying.
Mhm.
And so I was involved.
Yeah.
But no, I was not. In fact, when I got married with children, I was 4 months clean. And
Wow.
Oh my God.
yeah,
That is like being a newborn infant.
it was really
That is a
weird.
raw nerve.
It was scary.
Yeah.
And it was it hadn't been my first go around it. And I remember I got the job. I had just been sort of immersed in my recovery, but I was not somebody that couldn't show up for auditions and for
Mhm.
those things. I was somehow able to still manage that. It was going down quick.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I remember my friends in recovery told me to go to the job. I was terrified and tell somebody that I was in recovery.
Mm.
And I was like, are you kidding? When I'm going to walk in with these strangers and dippa. But I did it. And like within like 5 people, I met 2 people in recovery.
Wow.
That's how it works.
It was really fantastic. And it just calmed me down. And I just
Yes.
felt like, okay, I'm in a safe place. And, you know, because I don't know about yours.
Yeah.
Do you talk about it?
Yeah. Very
Okay.
openly.
So I had a lot of social anxiety. That was
Massive.
really one of my main coping skills was I started drinking when I was like 14 and smoking weed.
Yep.
And a lot of it was to cope with social anxiety and depression. I think I had depression, but
Mhm.
you know, nobody talked about it then. So
Right.
Same.
I loved
all of it.
Yeah.
I loved Little Speed. I thought that was fantastic. Made me like smarter, funnier, and cuter.
Yeah.
And you know, it just became like an almost 15-year way of coping with my life.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was social anxiety. So, you know, the minute that you start living in the real world and you realize,
Oof.
okay, this doesn't work anymore. I can't do this anymore. That social anxiety spikes.
That's
Right.
right. It
Right?
gets worse.
It gets worse.
Yes.
And, you know, that's what my friends in recovery would say to me. That's why we go to these meetings because we have to be around people. The opposite of addiction is connection.
Oh.
And that's what, that's what I have found I was always looking for, was to be connected. And I never felt connected to other humans, really.
Ever.
Right? I just didn't. And it's so interesting because you start out not feeling connected to humans, and then the behavior that follows that, which you think is going to help that, makes you even more uncomfortable around humans. It just kind of builds on top of each other. So, that coping skill works for a limited amount of time. At least it did for me. So
it works for a minute.
Yeah,
because you feel a little bit like, oh, I can do this.
A part of.
Yeah, a part of. And that's the thing too, is people are always like, why do you have to go to meetings? Like, you don't drink anymore. It's been almost 13 years. And it's like, I don't know how to be human without it. Like, it literally helps me on a daily basis be human. And like you were saying in the beginning, like getting to a place where you can be present in your life. That is the only way I've found that's helpful for me. Otherwise, I'm like, how do we do this whole human thing?
Well, Yeah. Broad Ideas is supported by Green Chef. Make this year's resolutions a breeze. Build healthy habits the easy way in 2024 with nutritious recipes from the #1 meal kit for clean eating. Green Chef offers unique farm-fresh ingredients, organic whole fruits and veggies, and premium proteins. Savor Green Chef's seasonally inspired recipes where we celebrate the peak ingredients, flavors, and freshness of every season. Choosing Green Chef means choosing real, wholesome foods that don't just fill you up, but also support a healthy lifestyle. It's more than just satisfying hunger. It's about feeling good with every bite. Elevate your everyday wellness with the #1 meal kit for clean eating and discover new gut-friendly recipes each week. I just love that I can feel good about what I am putting in my body and in my child's body. I think all health starts with the gut, and Green Chef makes that so easy to do. Go to greenchef.com/60broad and use code 60broad to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. That's greenchef.com/60broad and code 60broad. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
I'm a real firm believer that my ism lives in my head. It's about my perception of the world. It's about my fear-based thinking. It's a self-centered tendency. And even though I don't pick up substances anymore, it doesn't mean I don't have a head that wants to tell me a bunch of bullshit, which is basically, what if the worst thing happens? So I can still wake up with that head telling me thing. And I've learned to call that my ism. I believe that that's what it is. It's fear-based. It's self-centered thinking. And so the reason I continue in it is because I don't know how to stop that without hearing about other people that have it.
Yep.
That think the same way, and about, community. Everybody's taught, when you go to those groups and you think like your worst thinking is like so unusual, and then somebody tops it with like their worst thinking, you're like, oh.
Right. And then we all laugh.
And we're like, get through this.
I'm good.
That's fine. I'm all right. So it becomes a lot more than just stopping substances. It just becomes, you gain so much more from living this way of life. Like, I think the whole country should live in a 12-step program.
Well, I
say that all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
I wish there was something for people that aren't addicts.
Yeah,
I mean, there are different versions, right? But like for Rachel.
Because I don't have, I don't have
a substance problem.
I have the fear-based mentality. I have other, issues that I deal with internally, and it doesn't come out in alcohol or whatever. But I'm always like, oh, that sounds like a really good program. Like, I feel like I could benefit a lot from what you get out of it.
We can find your addiction, right?
Yeah, exactly. Also,
I'm sure, you can
always qualify for Al-Anon.
Shoes, absolutely.
Shoes, shopping.
Yeah. But people, I'm also in all the rooms.
Yeah.
And, I find the hardest one is the, I don't like to say the names, but the rooms for the families of.
Yeah.
I find that is because it is the ism without the substances.
Right.
It is about being addicted to people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and
Oh, I got
taking
that.
taking care of, being addicted, being,
Yeah.
forgetting about yourself and just
Oof.
wanting to,
I definitely check all
there's a
those
room
boxes.
for that.
Yeah, that's
there
what
is
I've been
definitely
saying.
a room for that.
There is a room.
And I know that room really well too, because I've just been on every side of this, married to an addict, married to, being really influenced, being a family member of an addict, all that.
Right.
So I have all those. There's lots of isms. There's a place for you, Rachel. I promise.
Yeah.
I believe it.
There's tools for you too.
For sure.
And you know what I love in your story is, to me, it's so inspiring that you're willing to share it, because I hear someone getting that at 4 months sober and staying sober. I remember when I first got sober, they were like, okay, or first went into recovery, they're like, just go to meetings, do what we're saying, and I promise you everything in your life is going to fall into place. And I'd be like, but how am I going to get a boyfriend? Like, how am I going to stop waiting tables? How am I going to, all of those things. And it was all true.
Yeah.
It all happened. And it was a direct result of making that choice. Like, you getting that at 4 months, cosmically, I have to believe 100% connected to that.
Right.
And the reason that you've made this impact in the arts and what you do and everything, to me, is related to that as well. Like, you wouldn't have it.
Well, you
right?
have to couch. Yeah. I think I learned early on to couch things. I know it more now than ever, is that it's all service.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought of what we do as, not to sound flippant in any way or self-aggrandizing in any way, but it is a service to be entertaining people. It's really that. And so I think in one of the earlier tools I learned in sobriety was about taking the focus off of myself and asking somebody else how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that has just been invaluable. My entire recovery has been about, more and more and more and more. But it's kind of a self-centered tool, actually, because it makes me feel better.
Right. I'm going to benefit still.
I'm tired of thinking about myself. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
And, but it really works. It's a fantastic thing. And before you know it, all that shit that you think is like, it just shuts up.
Mm.
And, it is true. With experience, with time, you start to realize, oh, everything I was worried about is actually worked out. I didn't need to waste all that time and energy,
Right.
Not that there's not validity in, will I ever have a boyfriend? That's absolutely a valid thought.
Felt real.
It felt absolutely.
It felt real.
But for
Yeah.
us that think obsessively, the thought of, will I ever have a boyfriend, won't shut the fuck up.
That's right.
Right? It's like the wheel. I hope I can
Constant
swear on your
loop.
show.
You can
fuck
swear.
yeah, you can.
Okay, good. But we're obsessive thinkers. So
It's
it becomes
exhausting.
like, and then, that's a hard way to get a boyfriend. Just
It is.
constantly thinking about, will I get one?
Oof.
It's not a good tool.
No, it's not a good tool.
But also, it's that wheel that you're talking about that I started drinking and using when I was so young. Like, I think like 11 is when I really started smoking weed, drinking, taking acid, all that stuff. So by the time I got 30 and gave it up, it got so much worse because I took those things away and was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And it made so much sense. Like, this is why you drink. This is why you smoke. This is why,
Totally.
because that loud, obsessive
Voice.
voice.
And that's why one addict talking to another is the only way it works.
Mhm.
Because when you do, you get that flood of feelings of like, oh, I haven't even looked at this since I'm 11 years old or 12 years old. I don't know what this is. You have to be able to process it with somebody else that understands it.
Right.
It's not like going to therapy.
No.
It's like the person that looks at you and goes, oh yeah, I get that. I too do not know what to wear when I wake up in the morning. Which is one of my first things. My sponsor said to me, I say, I'm too confused by my closet. I can't figure. She said, lay your clothes out before you go to bed. I was like, okay. It
Right,
really helps.
right.
It's
The
so
little
helpful.
things.
The little
things.
shing.
Right.
Things,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, those were tough things. And,
Yes.
I still find I live my life there's certain times when it's just so freaking chaotic and I just have to stop and just do what's in front of me, just
Right.
take the next indicated action, as we say. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
simple little bits.
I get
Yeah.
reminded of that all the time, by you or my mom or whatever. I'm always like, because I try. But, in my past, like I've definitely dealt with people, that have addiction or whatever. And I'm like always turn to Olivia because she can actually help me kind of understand to best I can without knowing it personally. And I find that really helpful because it gives me this perspective. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I think it's because the misconception is that people with addiction and alcoholism is a character flaw.
That's right.
And it's not a character flaw. And they're not doing it to you.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing to understand, that they're doing, their behavior, our behavior becomes so atrocious and bad. And it's hard not to think, you're just an asshole person.
Right.
It's not that. It's and it's a very tough distinction to make because, but there's plenty of assholes that aren't alcoholics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say something that I don't think I can say.
Yeah, but having that help, and I think what you touched on was like, it has nothing to do with the other person. If it's a relationship, if you're involved in any way or whatever, it has nothing to do with you. And that's the best thing you can know and keep for yourself.
And remind yourself.
It's
a constant reminder because it's so easy to just fall into. My second husband had a lot of trouble staying sober. And for years, I thought I just needed to do something different, that would really help. That if I cleaned up the mess one more time, if I, and I was sober the entire time, if I, the babies will help, the whatever, the one more hospital visit would help, everything.
Yeah.
And, and eventually it wore me down. It made me feel like I was the fucked up one.
Right.
And I wasn't, but I became that because I started to believe all these not great things about myself until I realized that, his disease was not about me.
Right.
And I had caught it, it was my tendency all along. I don't know how you guys grew up. I grew up with a mom that was sick a lot in my life, most of my life. So I kind of grew up feeling like I got to take care of people. I have to take care of my mom. I have to take care. And I'm just a natural that way. And then I started picking all these boyfriends and dudes that all needed taking care of.
Right.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And then, I put you do enough therapy, you go and you finally realize, oh, I see. I'm trying to right that wrong. Right. I'm trying to save that person.
Right.
And, it was misdirected. So, but.
Yeah, because you can't.
Is this okay to talk about all this on your podcast? Okay, good.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? This is all we care about.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, great.
Oh, no.
This
like
is what we care about.
We talk about everything, and this is what we want to know, because people are human, and there's so many things that we deal with, that we experience, and we want people to feel safe and heard, and like, it's just to normalize things that people think they can't really
That's great.
talk about.
It's the point of the show.
Oh.
Is we want people to feel like we do when we step in those rooms and we get to hear a little bit of ourselves.
Right.
Right.
And you don't feel so alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the key. I've been doing all this reading lately on, because I'm in my 60s. So I've been doing all this reading lately about, how to stay youthful and young and and, live a long time because I have a 16-year-old and I have to live, for another
forever
40 years.
Yeah.
And, the main thing they talk about is community, is really that, for older people to, not that I'm an older person yet, but the main thing that we need to do is keep human connection. And, it's the key to everything, really, not just addiction. It's the key to, it's why we're all here. We're all here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
are you reading about like blue zones and stuff like that?
I'm reading about blue zones.
Yeah.
I read that book, Outlived.
My husband's in longevity.
Oh.
That's what he does for work. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
so I hear about
probably
this.
need to meet your husband.
Yeah.
I'm all about it too. And so, now I'm reading all about exercise and the need for a certain amount of protein and keep your muscles and blah, 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 all this stuff, which not that I'm new to it. I've always been, even when I was drinking and using, I was like exercise. I was going to aerobics class.
You're just like
Insane. So
cocaine and squats.
that's exactly.
yeah.
So true. And, but yeah, I think that connection is, the most important thing we can do.
Right.
So that's great. You guys are doing that.
Yeah, and it's healing. Like today, I woke up, I call it crunchy now. Like when I
call
wake
it
up,
crunchy.
like crunchy, just
Right.
like not quite right. And like having these conversations, I feel regulated,
Right.
Mhm.
you know?
It's so irritable,
Not so irritable, not so crunchy.
not so crunchy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I hear you. I woke up crunchy too.
Did you? Yeah.
Actually, yesterday was a very crunchy day for me because I had a friend that, I'll just say her fiance OD'd.
oh,
and so I've been sort of in the middle of going through that with her. And, and I kind of work in that world a little bit. So I'm around it, but it was very close. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, it's crunchy.
Yeah.
I felt,
Yeah.
so I went to one of our little gatherings last night
yep.
and I walked out feeling much better,
Oh,
Yeah.
much more centered, much more not alone and scared.
right.
Because my crunchy is fear. I don't know what
Yeah.
your,
Mine is fear.
fear. Something's going to happen and I'm not aware of it. It's just going to boom, happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Lots of bad stuff's coming.
Lots of bad stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's constant. I mean, it's all fear all the time.
It's the what if thinking.
The
Right?
what if, and why you have to keep telling yourself, oh no, I need to be right here.
Right
like
here, right
just
now.
what's right in front of me, this present moment. If I go anywhere else, I'm fucking dead. Like,
Yeah, but it's like going to the gym. It's like you have to work that muscle constantly.
right.
Because you'll remember that now, but by 10 o'clock tonight, you will have
yeah.
forgotten.
Forget
Oh
it.
no. Well, yeah. I wake up at 1 a.m. it's a constant loop of like all of the fearful, horrible thoughts.
I know it can really, and part of it's our humanity. I think all
is.
humans have that. I think that, if you have any kind of an addictive personality, it talks about it in our literature that our basic instincts are on steroids.
Mm.
So everything that we do in life as somewhat compulsive people, it starts out correct, but we just are a little amped up about it.
Up it.
Yeah.
I was even laughing at that because she got this tiny coffee and then I get my big coffee. I'm like, everything's just extra. It's just all extra.
Yeah, one's good, but 3 would be great.
Yeah, there's never just like, I remember when it hit me one day, I was like, wait a minute, enough is enough. And it like
Was it when you were eating C's candy? Because I feel like that's when it would happen.
it was
for
like
you.
C's candies or cookies when it actually hit. They're not kidding that enough is enough. Like if you could stop it enough,
That's right.
it's enough.
Right.
I didn't get that until like last week.
I'm telling you, my cookie, here's my cookie thing. Cause I have, sugar stuff,
Yeah,
sugar stuff. I just always remind myself, guess what? You get to eat later.
right.
You can have these later.
Yeah.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, all right. Because, there's that concept that there's just never enough. I
Never enough.
better have them all right now.
Right.
Cause,
Yeah.
or, I just won't let myself have them. It's just a different mind. It's a different perception. You
Yeah.
just have to switch your perception.
There's a book that helped me with that so much.
Which one?
It's called, I think it's called How to Feed the Hungry Heart or Feeding the Hungry Heart.
Oh, Janine Roth.
Yes.
I know all about it.
That book is so good.
It is a
She'd have
good
you go to
book.
the grocery store and be like, I'm safe to buy cereal. I would have to tell myself, you're safe to buy cereal because I wouldn't even buy it and bring it in the house because it'd be
Gone.
gone, or a box of cookies. And so then I would tell myself before each cookie, you're safe to have a cookie. You can have 2 cookies
That's right. And then,
and you can come back later.
yeah,
Yeah. That book.
that was a great book. Yeah, I had a thing with food when that kind of started the whole thing for me, actually.
Mm.
I was a fat teenager, which I don't know. Well, I look at pictures now. I wasn't that fat,
No. I
but my
can't-
dad told me I was. Everybody told me I
Huh.
was. And I always had the best friend that was gorgeous and svelte, and all the boys liked her. And I was just kind of the best friend. And not that I had that many friends, but I'm thinking of one person in particular. And so I grew up thinking that way. So drugs and alcohol, food was probably the first thing.
Mm.
And then, because I started to like shut down with the Oreos in front of the TV after school, right? And then before you knew it, it turned into, oh, this will manage that. Just a little bit of an upper and, some wine on the weekend, started all that.
Right.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It's all the same thing.
It's
Right.
all the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but all those tools, which I think is cognitive behavior, they call it,
Mm-hmm.
learning different ways to manage things like that.
I
God,
think
listen to us.
I have the sugar addiction.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite?
You don't think I do?
Not addiction.
Well, fine.
She has
I'm trying to
she
find
has
mine.
she likes
She wants an
sugar.
addiction.
I just want
bad.
guys. Just give me
She
one.
wants
Come
one.
on.
Online shopping.
I do.
You may have an online shopping addiction.
I do have that.
But sugar, she's reasonable. She'll have a
Right.
piece of chocolate.
Right.
And you don't come back and like my mind will know it's there.
I know.
You know this. I got into the Christmas goods.
Mm.
Like knowing they're there in the garage, I was like, it's there. Like she can open it. It can sit
You have
there.
stored edible Christmas things in your garage?
No, I couldn't give my teachers their Christmas presents because,
because
I
you ate them all. Oh yeah, that did happen.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, she wound up. She ate the boxes of See's candy before.
I was like, sorry,
fantastic.
teachers, I don't have no presents.
That's great. There's recovery from that. We have a box of See's candy in our house, and we have cookies in our house. And there's recovery because I can do one, and that's it. So keep going. There's recovery.
Yep. I've
And,
done it on the cookies, not on the C's. Yeah,
there's a few kinds of cookies I can't have around. I just can't have Oreos around.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, those are mine.
They're
That's
the
my
best.
Jones.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
just can't have it.
No, they're so good in the milk
I don't know why we're talking about this, but
because it's important.
maybe it is important.
It is important.
Yes.
You know.
I think I'm not talking out of school, but my son is on a television show,
Yeah.
and his girlfriend is the lead on the television. They're both
And they
the
play love
leads.
interests.
Yeah, they're love interests.
And now they're dating in real life.
oh yeah, they have
Well,
been for 2
hello.
years. And they have been since the audition. They
No
They kind of
way.
had such great chemistry.
I love
They
that.
both
Wait a
got the
minute.
job.
Who's the girl on the show?
Grace Van Patten.
Is that Tim Van Patten's daughter?
Yes.
Okay, I've known Tim since because he was in like my dad's
Oh,
movie.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway,
He's
that's
a great
right.
guy.
And that his daughter, he's a great guy. I forgot that. Okay, so that's your son. That's huge.
Yeah.
He's on a huge show.
Yeah.
And they're dating.
Yes.
That's so, well, of course that happens.
Yeah. So I think, but sometimes I think as you get a little bit old, like for us, when I was doing that and I'm in my late 40s, 50s, it was just art. It was just what the story, we were providing the story.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think sometimes when you're younger, it can lead to,
Yeah, I have a lot
I'm
of
sure
experience.
you have experience with
Oh,
that,
yes.
right?
I have, yes.
Did you fall for your leading man?
Yes.
Oh,
A couple of times.
a couple of times. All right.
Yeah, but I had long-term relationships. Like the first time was like 3.5 years. The second was 11 years. So how did you meet your husband now? How did you meet Kurt?
One of our many organizations
Mm-hmm.
in there.
Mm.
And actually the sister program, the one we were
Oh,
both
yeah.
in there. And we met. And it was really amazing because I was 46
Uh-huh.
and thought, all right, I'm not doing this again.
Right.
This was after my second go round.
Mhm.
And thought, no, I'm not going to do this again. And and I was fully prepared to raise the 4 and the 6-year-old on my own.
Mm.
And then I met him, and it was a completely new experience for me on so many levels, like on an intimate level and an intellectual level. I mean, he was just like this different kind. It was the first time I hadn't been with a musician, not a
Right.
dog musician.
Yeah.
But it was the first time, and it was just fantastic. It's
Mm.
just been, up and down for sure. Like 20
Right.
years. I don't know how you don't go a little bit up and down, but
Right.
It's a long time.
but it's been fantastic. I love him. I really do love my husband. And so I tell my girlfriends, because I'll have friends that are like, I don't know, there's something about that late 40s, early 50s area where, you're either in some kind of relationship and afraid to leave because you think you'll never, what happens next, I'm not going to
Mm.
meet anybody. And I was there
Mhm.
and fell in love at 46 and 47 with 2 little kids. I was like, well, these guys come with me.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm a package deal.
Yeah.
And it really worked out. So
Yeah.
I just, that was a hard one though. That was a hard leap to take.
That's a
I'm
hard
sure.
leap.
To
Yeah.
be single with 2 little kids was hard.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He seems like he has edge though.
Oh, he's so edge.
Do you know what I mean? That's like, he just seems cool, like
He's
a musician. He's got the fabric of a musician, even if he isn't one. Right?
He's got the right mix of that, and he's also a nerd. He's like both.
That's great.
He's like now he's completely tatted, but he wasn't completely tatted when I met him.
Right.
He was more, not scholar. Well, he is kind of scholarly. He's like a great combination of edge, but got a really good girl side.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
that.
Yeah.
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 Like, he's super sensitive. He cries more than I do. He's, he's just a good, and also
perfect
one of
mix.
us, he's very, so reformed.
Yeah.
Love a reformed man.
Me
I
too.
don't think there is anything better, especially for the men. I find them so much more attractive because they've looked at themselves and been through something and worked through it and have accountability and perception. Like there's nothing better than a reformed man.
There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Or that also has friends that are that way. And
Right.
because a lot of men I find just don't have men friends.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not like us.
No.
They're not like girls. Like,
But I always look at that. Like if they don't have any friends, you're like, what? Because
Right.
there's certain personalities, I think, that maybe it's even a red flag if they don't have any.
or at least a couple, right?
Yeah, right.
Like you
Like,
don't have to
at
have a
least-
crew.
No.
Like, you're playing poker every weekend.
Right.
But
But like have your,
have a couple of guys, and
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And so it is nice to be with, because women, we're so, it's so easy. I don't know, for me, it didn't used to be, but now it's very easy for me to bond with women. And I like to bond with women. And, I like to sit and chat and, we speak a different way than we do, than men do.
yes.
It's like I'm always, it's like I know girlfriends who expect, my daughter, expecting her boyfriend to be like a girlfriend. I'm like,
Not gonna
Nope.
happen.
not going to work.
No.
You don't have to say everything to him. Don't say everything.
Right. Oh.
Don't say every word that comes into your head.
Yeah. I'm always like, I'm the overshare. They're the undershare. Like it's just
Absolutely.
constant. And
No,
I had like an eye-opening experience with a guy once where like I said something like I had gotten them a gift and they had gotten me something similar. And I'm like, I have to give your gift now because you got me this thing and I got you the same thing. And I don't want you to think that I only got this because you got it for me. He's like, I would never think that. I'm like, right. We don't think the same.
No, we don't think the same.
No.
No, and we are oversharers.
We are overshares.
Yeah, really. And
And
with
to
your
a fault.
girlfriend, you can be.
Oh, right.
I mean, your girlfriend, you could say the same thing 5 different ways.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend is going to be still like, oh, yeah, wow.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Because it's just a different way of communicating.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it has to come out. It has to come
It
out.
has to
It
come
doesn't
out.
stop.
We joke because we'll do this all day. I get in the car and we
we're on
do
the
it on
phone.
the
We're on
way
the phone.
home.
Yeah, for the hour drive home, and we're
We'll be
still
like, so what?
yeah.
Downloading.
Downloading. That's it.
Yep.
No, I know. I so get it. That's so great. You're friends for 30 years.
I know.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like you went to elementary school together?
It was more junior high. I guess we're more like
Yeah.
25-ish years.
Wow.
Is that
Is that
true?
right?
No. Yeah, like
Math.
25 years.
So great.
I know it's the
Pushing
best.
30.
It's the
We'll call it
best.
30. But yeah, I know. It's you grow up together.
Did you guys go to college?
No.
Just started work.
Yep.
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 Yep. Pretty
No
much. I mean, I
college.
went for like a semester.
Right.
And my
I-
dad's
yeah.
like, you're just partying. You have to.
He's
Oh,
like, you're
back.
pretty. Go.
No, yeah.
It was a lot of that.
So he didn't want to waste his money.
No, he's like, I'm not paying for you to party. Like I went down to San Diego. We were like in Tijuana. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like party. Like I was not going to class.
Right. Absolutely.
So-
it's not for everybody. It's
It was
really
not for me.
No.
No. And I had a supportive mother who was like, okay,
Great. That's so great.
yes.
No, my son came to me after 2 years of music school. Well, first year of music school at USC. He said, Mom, this is a joke. I can't do. I shouldn't play that school. It's not a joke. But for him, it was not a good fit.
Right.
And then so he moved to the theater school and he's sort of like that. And then he came home. He just said, Mom, I'm just partying. I have to get out of school. And so
Wow.
same thing.
Yeah.
And I just said, well, you have to do something. You can come
Right.
home, but you have to do something. So he went to acting school. and
Oh,
it
okay.
worked out.
Yeah, it sure did.
Where'd he go?
He went to, it's in the Valley,
Mm-hmm.
the place that I think Jeff Goldblum started it. What is it? Valley West,
Oh,
the Playhouse,
Playhouse West?
Playhouse West.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
Sure.
went there
Oh, wow.
and studied for a year, something, and just kind of started booking little jobs and kabam.
Yeah.
Kabam.
Kabam is right.
Now he's on a kabam of a show.
Yep.
I think so.
Kabam,
Yeah.
kaboom. He's
I know.
kaboomed.
It's like when you know where you're going and you're that age, it's really hard to
Pivot.
push you
Yeah,
into
to
a
go-
box that you don't
yeah.
fit.
Oh yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he's in the right box, and
Yeah.
so is she. So is my older one. It's
Mhm.
just when I don't know how old you guys are exactly, but it used to be a simpler process. It felt like
Yeah.
you just it was just simpler. There wasn't a
Mhm.
whole corporation that had to sign off on you.
Right.
Now you go for a job and like 25 people have to say yes.
Yeah.
It used to be like a couple, right? I
Right.
don't know if
Oh.
but that's how it was when I started. It was, there were fantastically creative heads of companies that were really about the art. And,
Yeah.
And now there's, it's a different, lots of young people that really don't know about art get to make decisions.
Very true.
Right.
So
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah. It's
So it's
definitely
harder
changed.
that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you have to make your own stuff. That's one way to channel things.
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have survived then. I mean, now.
Right. If it was.
I don't know that I would have. I don't have that talent. I know so many talented young people that are like, making short films and writing their own series. And, you're just like, what?
Right.
I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
it's like what Rashida Jones, it's like,
Totally.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
mean, wow. Talk
Yeah.
about make your own path.
Right.
It's fantastic.
I know.
It is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I don't think even like the 20 plus years, I've been doing,
I wouldn't have been able. No.
No. No chance.
Right. It's
Yeah.
a different, it's different.
different.
Time.
For sure.
Mhm. It is.
It is. And we're all doing the best we can.
We are all doing the best we can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're doing a podcast. You've created a podcast.
We've created a
You
podcast.
created something.
We did
Exactly.
create something.
So that's really great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all outlets too, just keep it going.
Yeah. Just keep doing something.
Something.
Right. You have to, because otherwise you can go do something else and you're just going to be wanting to do that anyways.
Right.
Right. I love to knit.
You want to knit?
Do you?
I've always wanted to learn how to knit.
Oh,
Yeah, I
knitting
feel
is
like I'd
very
like it.
meditative.
Do you do it on set?
I used to do it on set a lot.
Yeah.
I would do it in rooms a lot.
Yeah.
I would do it. I do it now. I like to listen to so awful reality TV and knit.
Please. Are you kidding?
That's
I find
amazing.
it so meditative.
Yeah. Because you don't have to think. It's just
you're not thinking and
there.
you don't have to watch.
Right.
Really. You can
Nope.
just sort of not pay attention to the story and just talk about, how ridiculous they are.
What's your
And-
go-to though? Reality?
Well, I just was watching. I did love is Blind.
Oh, obsessed.
Her thing.
I can't. It's
Obsessed.
Oh, obsessed.
It
It's
was
like
crazy good.
great. It's just like
I know.
insanity.
So all of that.
Yep.
I had never watched a housewife show. So I started one of those.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, they just drink so much. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Every episode, these ladies are drinking a
Right.
lot of alcohol. So
Right.
of course they're going to do crazy shit. So I got sort of bored a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I've never gone there, but
A
yeah.
friend of mine told me to watch Above the Deck, Below
Below
the Deck.
deck. People love below deck.
They
I've
love
seen
Below Deck.
I've seen below deck med, which is in the Mediterranean.
Oh, sounds good too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've just sort of cracked that open. And the old Survivor episodes. Have you ever watched old Survivor
No.
episodes?
No.
I was never a Survivor person.
Yeah. Me either.
I'm on a TV show currently. And everybody on that TV show are like Survivor freaks.
Really?
They love it. Like they watch it religiously. They
Like
watched
reruns
it for years.
of all. Yeah.
So they were like, you have to watch the old ones because the old ones were like gnarly. And the
I
new
bet.
ones
They're
are
super-
kind of cush. Apparently.
Right.
So I've been watching these old reruns. They are pretty
That's
gnarly.
hilarious.
What they put people through.
Would
Oh
you
my
win?
Would I win? Oh no, I'd be out.
Me too.
No.
Yeah.
Dead in the water.
The minute I have to go in the water,
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm not going in the
I'm
water.
not jumping off the thing into the water. No, not
Oh
my
my
thing.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm with you.
I think that's why I never got into Housewives, because of the drinking.
It might be.
It might
I'm
be.
finding it boring because
Yeah.
of that.
I've
Yeah.
never seen an episode of a housewife show.
But you're so into
I
reality
know. That's why I
TV.
don't understand
Why?
it. It's
What's
weird.
your favorite?
Well, I love Love is Blind.
Love
I'm
is Blind is
obsessed.
great.
I mean, I got into The Bachelor for a while. Bachelor in Paradise, actually.
I've never done those.
Bachelor in Paradise is such a shit show. It's so much fun to watch. I
All right.
definitely prefer that.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're going to watch one of them, that
Watch
one's
that
the
one.
one to
Okay.
watch. It's so fun.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I watch my reality sometimes. I got so addicted to television during the pandemic. I don't know if you guys.
Oh,
It's like and I used to love to read books. So now, I'm making myself go back and read. I have to read books now. I have to read every day a little bit, just a little.
That's good.
Because otherwise, I would
You're
just watch
just-
television.
That's
which
all I want to do.
I know, right?
I want to lay in bed and
I
do
wanna
it.
lay in bed and watch-
too.
That's all I want to do.
I know. At the end of the yesterday, I had such a crunchy day.
Yeah.
And it was finally the end of the day, which for me is like around 9:30. Like
Yeah.
I'm done. And at 9:30, I'm putting on my headphones and I have my little iPad and I'm just about to and watch I don't even know what I was watching. And my daughter comes in, my 16-year-old, and jumps on the bed. And I was just like, you can't be in here right now. And I hadn't seen her really all day. And I was just like such a bitch. I was like, oh my God. And then my husband looks at me, he's like, yeah, what do you do? So I had to take my headphones. But it was finally my
Yeah,
it was like your
second when you're
time,
in
of
bed. And you're
course.
like,
Yes.
everybody, So, but I did the right,
It's so relatable.
I gave her attention.
Yes.
Instead of,
Watch
because I
her.
adore
though.
her.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
so I only got like 15 minutes before I fell asleep. I'm
Right.
bummed.
I know.
Yeah.
That time, decompressing time for
Decompressing
yourself.
time
is
is so.
Yeah. It's like a bath.
But now the longevity people tell you because sleep
What?
is so important.
Yeah.
Not to look at screens.
Not to
before
look
you
at
go to
But
sleep.
it's impossible. Like I have the
I
hardest
know.
time not looking at my phone until I go to sleep.
I know.
It's so hard.
I hear you.
These people that my husband work with, they have their beds in a room that's all dark, just the beds, twin beds, so that they're not in the same bed disrupting each other.
right.
No screens in their room. They've got these I don't know what it is, some sort of protecting shield from all. I mean,
Is that like a testing situation or that's their home
Yeah. What do you mean?
that's their home life.
Whoa.
Wow.
They're keeping out the radio waves or something.
Wow.
I don't even know what that means.
But
And
your husband
here I
hasn't
am.
made you do it yet?
He tells me all the time,
You're gonna live
no
in a dome.
screens before bed.
I
No,
know.
we should take the TV out of our room. And I'm like, that's my only thing that I want. Like,
know.
I don't even want clothes, shoot, none of that. I just want to be able to lay
TV
in bed
And watch TV.
and
Yeah.
just watch a show.
I
get it.
know.
That's it.
I hear you.
Simple.
You know?
Simple things.
And
Really
I don't
good.
have a problem sleeping.
Well, then that's,
You know?
I just got this. Do you have an Aura ring?
I don't.
No,
but
he does. I need to get
I
one.
just got one. My husband made total fun of me. He was like, oh my God, you with the watch and the ring and the
Yeah.
But it does clock your sleep, which I
Yeah.
think is really good.
Yeah.
And my sleep is fine as well. So
there you go.
That's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
like, well, according to the Aura ring,
Yeah.
I'm doing
We're
just
good.
fine.
Yes, you've debunked the theory.
That's right. But I have been, I do sort of understand this is what we did. We took our TV out of the bedroom.
See?
Okay.
However, now we each have an iPad.
Right. So now you're not doing it together.
So now we're
And
not,
now-
because we're not watching the same show.
Right.
But we're, both on
Still
our
on a
thing.
screen.
And he's on the phone or I'm the thing,
Do you like that though?
Yes.
You do.
Well,
What do you prop it on? Or do you hold
he-
it?
Oh,
this
I need
is
to
so
know the
fun.
setup.
My husband has it set up. He has, well, first of all, he buys every gadget. So he's got like this, like a thing,
stand?
like a stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's gone through about 5 of them. Now he's found the right one. So he's got it by the bed. So it kind of goes like this and doesn't shine in me. I'm just like, I put a pillow here between
Yeah.
us and I'm just on the thing. You know what I mean? I don't need a stand.
Right.
You hold it?
Well, it's kind of leaning on a pillow.
It's
Okay.
leaning
And
on
I
a
have one of
pillow.
those cases,
They-
that
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
have
that
a little-
opens
yeah.
and you can hold it.
Yeah.
They have pillow stands.
They
I
do.
would. I
Yes.
see. I would.
They
need
sure
that.
do.
It
I will
stresses
show
me
you.
out.
I should probably get a pillow
A
stand.
pillow stand. I'm just saying,
Yes. But I did. This is the latest thing I bought was I bought a nightlight for my book. And now I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
book by the bed.
Yeah. With
Because
a
I-
book light that clips onto
Yes.
the page. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So
I have the same.
That's kind of a nice. I'm trying to at least rotate a little bit.
To read a little and not, yeah.
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 I hear you. What are you reading right now?
I just read Did you read the 12 Husbands of
The 7 Husbands of Evelyn.
7 Husbands
Hugo.
of Evelyn?
No,
Hugo?
I've had it to read for a year.
Oh, you
It's
won't
so
put it
good.
down.
I'm gonna do that one.
Just put it.
I
down.
need to start
Don't
one.
put it down.
Okay.
And now I'm
Doing it.
also reading, I like Ruth Ware. Do you know who that is?
Of course.
All those
The
thriller
cabin,
books?
woman in cabin,
the cabin,
whatever. Yeah.
So now I'm reading The Lying Game.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, I have that one.
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
It's pretty good
Is
so
it?
far.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I loved
They're more
all of her
thriller,
books.
like, yeah.
I like thrillers.
Yeah.
And then,
So fun.
And then I also just bought a book called, what's it called? The Survivalist? Something.
Okay.
But what I do want to read, my daughter's reading it, and I just hear it's great, is The People's History of the World.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever read that?
No,
I
but
think
everybody
a long
says it's
time
so
ago, I read some of it, but I didn't get, but I have it.
I need to read that.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to read that.
It's like, I like to mix it up. Like I'll do Colleen Hoover. Have you done hers?
No.
She's like, It Ends With Us and Verity and all these like,
good. Is it romance?
some might be more.
What does
Verity's
Nicole call
not.
them?
Yeah, she calls them something. Vagina, something.
Oh, warm vagina.
Warm vagina books. I don't know.
Wow. Really?
It's not like romance novel, but she's super popular.
But are they sexy?
Some are for sure.
great.
But they're making a movie. It Ends With Us, like Blake Lively's doing it or something, and it's very popular.
Oh, I see.
Yes, but it deals with like domestic abuse. Like there's substance to it for sure.
Right.
But yeah, her books are easy to read.
Great.
Yeah.
I like easy to read. And then I also like making myself read ones that aren't so easy to read.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like about subject matters
Mhm.
that, it's just good for your brain, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Oh
kind
yeah.
of,
I'll mix it
you
up.
know,
Mhm.
So
But that takes so much more focus. But
it does.
still,
It really does.
I
I'd
know.
also try to read in the morning.
That's what I was going to say. It depends. For me, I
Oh.
can't do it at night.
Yeah.
I have to
morning
do
is
it in
a
the
good
morning.
read. Yeah.
That's good.
After you do your little, whatever you do. I do a few little things and
Yeah.
then I read.
Yeah. Because
okay.
then you have the brain power for it. But you can do the other, what is it? The romancy,
The vagina one.
the
Warm
warm
vagina?
vaginas.
we
at
can
night.
do the warm vaginas.
You can do that at night.
Yeah.
That's easy to do at night.
Those ones,
you
yeah.
know?
Those
That's
ones are
right.
fine for night.
Yeah.
Yeah. The People's History of the World or like the
The ones that you have
Sapiens.
to use your brain. Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
concentrate.
Right.
You have to really, but
Yeah.
that Evelyn Hugo book, I'm telling you, I just,
I'm excited. I'm going to
was
read
really
it.
a fun read.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know everyone says that. And I've literally
read.
been meaning to. Why don't you read it? We can read it together.
Okay.
It helps to read together to motivate.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't put it down.
Oh.
I didn't. I did
Yeah.
not put it down.
Okay. Doing
Like
it.
2 days done.
Definitely doing it.
It was great.
That's great. I needed that little
I know.
motivation.
Kick in the pants.
Yeah, I sure did. Many kicks in the pants today. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know why, but this has just been such a nice conversation.
I know.
Did we talk about, what did we talk about? We just talked
Just-
about
we
it.
just talked. We just
That's all
talked.
we do.
But that's what we're
great.
here to
You
do.
don't have a format. You don't have a thing.
No.
No,
You're just like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
That's it.
we kind of go with the flow. Sometimes it's scary, but we just still.
No, you girls are not scary at all, by
Oh.
the way.
Thank you.
This is comfortable and
Oh,
you know,
good.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that. And
Yeah.
you are incredible. And we were,
Yeah. Yeah.
eh.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
but just it's always
but
so.
thank you.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like-
I'm not going to say I'm going to say thank you.
Well, yeah, right. Because we always do that. You can't. I
Always.
know. Yeah. Meh, meh, meh,
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But it's true. And just to, but the nicest thing is to look up to someone for so long and idolize and just an icon and just be, and to meet you and talk to you at length and just be even more impressed and amazed. And it's just always such the coolest thing.
Thank you.
The coolest ever.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
So hard to not do a yeah, but isn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or repeat compliment.
Repeat. Oh, like, so were
Like
you?
just give it back.
And
Yeah.
Right,
instead to just receive
Receive
it.
it.
Say
Receive
Thank you.
It is hard.
I know.
We're
I know.
working on it.
We're working on it, but we're all
Yeah.
programmed that way, it seems like. And it's not everybody.
Well,
Well,
I think women.
Women
are for the most part.
We're, like we talk about women always apologizing.
Right.
Ugh. Yes.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I know. My older daughter used to always say to anything, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But really what she was saying was, shut the fuck up. Don't leave me alone. Just leave me alone. It was another way, I'll just cut to the chase. Like, I'll just apologize quick.
Right.
Then we won't have to, which is, you always tell your kids, like the best apology is just don't do it again.
Right.
Just don't do it again.
Right.
And
Action.
then action.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I appreciate the I'm sorry. Let's just not do it again.
Right.
Right.
So-
But not as a conversation shutdown.
And not as a conversation shutdown. It's just a total reroute. It's a passive aggressive. It's like a,
Yeah.
because then it deflects from the thing, and it's all about like the I'm sorry. It's like,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute. What are you sorry for?
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure, Mom. I'm sorry.
Just can we be done
I'm
with
sorry.
this?
Yeah.
My son does that all the time. He'll be like, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. And I'll be like,
Right.
well, your clothes are still on the floor. So are you sorry? Right? It's just stop being you, Mom, for a second.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deflect.
Stop being you.
Stop being you for 1 second.
It's also when somebody says to you, my husband does this a lot, but I'll say, how are you, honey? And I can tell something's going on. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're fine? Oh, okay. You sure? And my tendency is to go, really? Are you sure?
Right.
Like, why? You don't seem fine. What? And now I'm really learning when he says that, I'm just like, okay.
Right.
And like, if you want to tell me,
Right.
you'll tell me.
God,
And
that's hard.
It's hard. It's so hard because you're like, you want to know like what's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, because when somebody's face tells you one thing and their words are telling you another, and then you just, for me, I'm just learning everybody's got to just figure it out.
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah.
And I'm not there to figure it out for them.
Well, my therapist said that really helped me. She's like, men need to go in the cave. So if he's saying, I'm fine, that means he's not ready to come out of the cave.
Totally.
And she's like, and you're taking a stick and running into the cave. Walk away from the cave.
Oh, God, good therapist.
Right?
Yeah. I know.
So smart. I used to go, this is horrible. If he would leave the room upset, and he'd have an office downstairs, I would go to the office.
Chase.
Right. Yeah.
Chase. Absolutely.
Yes.
Wait a minute. We're not done talking.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it was like, it took me forever to realize. And he would say, at a certain point we get in the conversation, it's just white noise to me. You need to let me, get back in my body. I'll come back. And I was like, oh, you will? And then, once he started to actually show me that, it was like, oh yeah, okay, I just need to chill.
Yeah.
It's so
Just be patient. It's just wanting.
You have to
right
learn,
now.
you have to kind of like train yourself in a sense.
Absolutely.
Oh,
well,
you
because
do.
it's your own anxiety.
Right.
It's really what it is.
It's about you. Like,
It's totally
does this
about you.
Yeah. Right.
Like, if you're not okay, what did I do?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
like a good
Instant,
girl at
yeah.
all. So, but you're right. It
Absolutely, yeah.
becomes self-centered. It's about me.
Right.
And,
Right.
But if you really just leave it and it's not about you, it's whatever they're going through and you can walk away, which is so hard.
sorry, well, I tell him now, I'm like, okay, I can do that. As long, sometimes I need to be reassured it's not about us.
Right.
Right.
Like,
So
all
if
you
you
have to
need
do
space-
is say,
Right.
it's not about us.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
Does
Cool.
he do
I'm
that?
still really curious.
Yeah.
He's getting much better. Yes.
Yeah.
Much,
Yeah.
yes, we both are. We've both learned how to,
Yeah.
it's that whole thing where they go away and I put,
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
The push
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
pull and the, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to understand. I'm like, what do you mean you're not ready to talk about it?
Oh.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And having to get okay with that, because it is. Another thing is like, am I using them as a Xanax? Right. Like, if you could be better, can we do that so that I can get rid of my anxiety?
100%. 100%. It's all about that.
Yeah. It's like, I need to feel better. So now.
Right.
Yeah. And if you grew up in a family where, you felt that way a lot, where like, if they're not okay, I'm not okay.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your instinct to just want everybody to be okay
Mhm.
so I can be okay.
That's
Right.
right.
And-
That's it.
It's reminding yourself that you're okay even when they're not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a hard one.
And it's hard. It is
Very.
hard,
It
but
is
it's
hard.
practice. It's
Yeah.
just really, it's like, you take the action first and then the
Mhm.
feelings will follow. So you do the right footwork and then eventually it will become something that feels correct. But if you wait to feel right, you're not going to do it. That's
It's never
what I've
gonna.
learned.
It's never gonna
It
feel
doesn't
right
happen.
to let them go in the cave.
Doesn't feel right.
Right.
Mm-mm.
But once you see the results of that and trust that, yes, they are going to come back, it gets a little bit easier.
Mm.
Or, it's just sometimes, it's like, it's so much more interesting to be in someone else's life. That's what I'm always like, I'm so fucking sick of my life. Let's talk about
Let's go
yours,
there.
which is also a recovery tool. However, it can become a little bit of a Xanax, like you said. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with my shit. Let's just
Right.
talk about yours.
Focus on.
Well,
yeah.
isn't that, I mean, to me, I think that was one of the first things that pulled me to acting
Huh.
was, can I be someone else
Oh.
in someone else's life? If I can just pretend all these things, I'm okay doing that.
Right.
Right? Like, I think that a lot of times people that are drawn to that have that want to escape their life.
Absolutely. Well, I think any art is
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
know, I think any art is kind of like, it's just an adjunct so that you don't have to, well, you do have to go deep eventually, but there is that sense of I'm validated by this outside thing that I do. It's not,
Right.
you know how they talk about global self-esteem and then
Mhm.
self-esteem by what we do? So global self-esteem is just like, okay, every bit of me is a piece of shit. And then outside self-esteem is like, well, I'm not making money. I'm not blah, 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 blah. You know, and if we don't have good global self-esteem, then you're completely defined by what the thing is that you're not making money at or being
Right.
successful at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, identifying too much by what we do, like what we do is who we are,
Dangerous.
a little
Right.
bit.
Little bit, lot of it.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
if what you do is not going so well,
Right.
who are
Who
you?
are you?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a tough, that's one too.
That is one. That's one.
That's one.
a
We
big
can make a
one.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one.
A list of many.
Yeah.
Oof.
I could do this all day.
I know. All day. We've already kept
How
you-
late is it?
Yeah,
Did
we've
we
kept
keep
you a
you?
very long time.
Oh, we did. Well,
Oh my gosh,
you know
I have
what?
to go actually.
You have to go.
Love and marriage, love and marriage go
It's an
together like
institute you
a
can't
horse and
Whoop.
carriage. This I tell ya, brother, you can't have one without the other. Yep, we're here again. Here we are.
back.
We are back.
New year,
New year.
new Rob.
New Rob. Is that right?
It's brand new.
Shiny and new.
Yeah. That vision board.
Are we gonna vision board?
I got everything to vision board.
You did?
Yeah, for both of us.
You did?
Do you want a vision board?
Wait, when did you do that and why didn't you tell me?
I just haven't brought the stuff over. I need to bring it over.
You
Well,
just
thanks for
like
telling
you
me
went and bought
now.
some magazines and a poster board.
Yeah,
Basically.
that's right.
I loved a vision
I
board.
got
It's so
big
Scissors and glue.
poster boards
Yeah.
and magazines and stuff.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It reminds me like when you're a kid making collages.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
When are we doing that?
Whenever you want. I could bring them next week.
Great.
Yeah.
Very happy about that. Thank you. Also, we can maybe hang it up as new art in your new house.
That's right.
Olivia's moving.
I'm moving.
It's official.
It's official.
Pretty much.
Studio City.
Pretty much.
I mean, pretty much.
Oh.
We'll finalize it, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of which, thank God for Lorena because she puts up with the insanity of myself
Yeah.
and my husband.
It's
Wait,
a
tell
lot.
us a little more about Lorena. Who's Lorena?
Do you want to know about Lorena?
Yes,
Lorena
please.
is actually one of my oldest friends. I met her
Like
when
an
I was, like-
elderly friend
no.
or longest?
I met her
friend?
when I was 17 years old with braces, and she came up to me at an acting class and started telling me everything I needed to do for myself. She was like, you need to get your braces off. You need to get headshots. You need to do this. You need to do that. She was always right about fucking everything. She then became my business partner.
Wait, she gave you orthodontist
She gave me
advice?
She gave me everything advice. Everything. And then she became my business partner and we taught acting to children. And
The three of us did an acting class together.
we did. We did. We did scenes together, the three of us.
Uh-huh.
She's just that person that knows everything about everything. So then when she went into real estate, I was like, holy fuck, that solves
all
all
the
my
houses you want to buy.
questions. It solves all the problems in my brain. Anyways, she's helped us through this process. If anyone ever needs anyone incredible, Lorena Costino Holmes, and she's with Compass.
Okay, you guys. All right, so like as a parent, very seldom comes a night where you have a night to yourself.
Yeah, you don't get that ever.
Ever. No, I never have that, which I love. And a rarity
do?
occurred. I do. I'm very codependent.
You don't love having a night off?
No, of course. It's always like if you get a night off.
Yeah.
But what do? I lay in bed and I watch TV or whatever.
That's great.
Okay. So I had one night and I'm like, all right. But I was kind of on call because Briar was doing a sleepover and she doesn't do sleepovers. So you never know how it's going to go. Laying in bed and I'm like, okay, what am I going to watch? And we all know that like I've seen nothing. So I'm like, I should watch something like really critically acclaimed, like that I've missed. And I'm going through Netflix and they have like, their 1 through 10 top movies. And I see this one and it's like a period piece. And I'm like, that looks like a serious, I'm going to do that. That looks like, I'm going to get into like a good, like a serious
Come out smarter.
period piece movie. It's going to move me.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm watching this movie and all of a sudden I realize it's an erotic period piece.
Wait, since when does Netflix have erotic movies?
Apparently there is some erotica on there.
Wow.
Within the top 10 of movies. No, you guys, it's called like Lady something, okay? And like, I had no idea. And there was a lot of
Sexy
sex.
time?
Yeah. And nudity. And the movie's over 2 hours. Like, it's like a long movie.
Did you finish it?
I was up till 1:30 in the morning. No, but you guys, like but let me just tell you, it's actually a love story. That's the whole point of the movie. It's like, it's about love and it's a love story. And I will watch anything that's a love story. That's what got me sucked into it in the first, like period piece. It's serious. It's a love story. I'm going to be like, but there was so much sex.
Did you get
I
pregnant?
had no idea. And now I'm expecting. It was like, but yeah, of course I stayed awake. I had already napped though, to be fair. Like 9 p.m. rolls around, often I will fall asleep. I woke back up.
Put on some porn.
No, but I had no idea. I was
Was
up
the
till
acting good?
1:30. Oh, the acting was great. Like I was all in.
It was good.
It was like a serious movie. It really threw me with the amount of sex.
So would you watch it again?
I have 5 times.
She has a couple times.
No, but I was just like, and it's like the one night and the one thing I wind up watching, and it was just funny. So I was like,
It's amazing.
oh, great.
I wish
Here
you
we
would have
go.
watched what I watched.
What did you watch?
Love Wins from Mother God.
This is
Here
like
we
a
go.
weird deja vu.
Some
Yeah.
cult documentaries.
This one, though, is worth Leah.
Is it a cult documentary?
Yeah, Leah was like, Olivia, please, you have to watch it. So I did, and I couldn't sleep.
It's the
It was
HBO
so-
one with Mother God or
Is it HBO? It's what HBO Max, I think. Yeah.
Dude.
It's Max.
Dude. Just Max now.
Well, you like that stuff, though. Why won't you watch it?
I don't. You know what I think? Because if I put it on and there's episodes, I'll never go to sleep. Like I won't be able to turn it off. I don't actually know. I don't know the answer.
Because you act like you like the true crime stuff.
I do, but I purposely, because I've done it before when I'm home alone
Yeah.
and it scares the shit out of me.
This isn't scary, though.
Right. But like the thing, like I'll watch serial killer stuff.
That's scary.
You watch real scary.
This isn't scary.
Yeah.
This is just like this. Oh, what?
Like mind boggling.
Yeah, it's mind boggling.
I can do that.
Have you watched Couples Therapy on Showtime?
No.
No.
You should watch that.
Is
Is it good?
It's good.
Is
It's
it a docuseries?
Is it a
It's a
docuseries?
docuseries where this woman sits down with couples. And
Oh,
does
that would
therapy.
be interesting to me.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I would watch that. See, I need things to download on my iPad to watch on trips, like airplanes.
Do you think you should watch Love Wins? And I also think you should watch.
In Bruges.
Rob,
Twin
I
Flames.
watched it last year.
Did you finish it?
No, but I watched most of it.
Doesn't count then.
Something happened where I was like, I'm out. Oh,
yeah, the kid died.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
and then That was like halfway through the movie.
I can't do it if a kid dies. Yeah. It's awful. Rob, encouraging me to watch things.
Jeff was
like
showing
that.
me something recently and a kid died. And I said, I
No,
don't like
I
I
don't.
can handle anything else. I'll even exit the conversation. He was like, do you remember Pet Cemetery? I'm like, I don't want to
No.
talk about it.
That one fucked me up as a
Yeah.
kid.
Did you guys watch Manchester by the Sea?
Yeah.
No. I heard that was very depressing.
That one was rough.
So
Yeah,
rough.
I didn't watch it.
No.
Download that for the plane.
No, Rob. No,
It's
thank you.
great.
I'm not taking your referrals after In Bruges on the last plane. It's really good. It's really well done. I'm not saying that, but like it was intense.
Yeah, you're never getting in a Mark
I
McDonald
like.
movie.
Well, I've never what?
Gonna get in one of his movies now.
Who's? Oh, the guy.
Mark McDonald.
I just said it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
I'm obviously first on his list.
Yeah.
But no, I
You need
want
to do
something-
cozy on the plane.
I like cozy.
I
on
like
a plane.
cozy
I
on a
love catching up on my like whatever reality on a plane.
Oh, I like a romantic comedy on
I
a plane.
love a romantic. You know what I have queued up?
What?
You've Got Mail. Haven't seen it in so long. I repeat movies. Does that say something about my brain that like I just watch the same things
That's on a
I
plane
don't
or
do
that's
that.
everywhere?
everywhere?
Because there is some. I mean, we've talked about this a million times
Well, we're creatures of habit.
about wanting to watch something comforting on a plane. Your like senses are very heightened.
Your senses are so heightened that you'll be watching like something that is not anything emotional or whatever and ball.
Right. Yeah.
But you would pick. So this is fascinating to me though, because this is different. Like if I'm on a plane, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go for a romantic comedy or something light, right?
I would go dark or serious on a plane.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
I would go for something that I had never seen.
Yeah, it's gotta be something you haven't seen
Uh-huh,
because you
on a
want it to
plane.
go by. Fast.
No, but like I would.
But you would
yeah.
go dark or serious.
I would.
That's interesting.
I would do romantic comedy too, of course. But if there's a movie, like again, like a critically acclaimed movie that was like so good, but it's intense.
with Bryan Cranston.
But you said that you got mail queued up.
I do because I have that
Still
too.
laugh.
It's their long plane rides. So, you balance it out. But that is where I would actually follow through with watching something that I wouldn't normally.
I don't rewatch. Like there's so much I haven't seen that I would never.
Really?
You're reaching an age though. I feel like you could rewatch.
I love rewatching
There's only
a
a
rom-com.
few like that I would rewatch. Like I could always watch Bridget Jones' Diary. I could always rewatch.
Right, there's
Love
cozies.
Actually, like there's ones that I'm like I could rewatch that.
Love Actually.
But then I'll see like a cheesy romantic
Oh, yeah.
comedy that I would never watch
Yeah.
and be like, you know what?
I've done that.
Let's do that. You know?
Buckle up.
Buckle up. It's getting cheesy.
But it's just, cozy and easy. Also, though, a lot of the time, Briar's like right next to me on a plane. So
So you're not.
There's been
pulling out that
times-
erotic Netflix.
dude,
film?
no, like watching White Lotus on the plane and some of those scenes, I'm like,
yeah.
turn that iPad to the flight attendant who comes to ask me if I wanted something to drink.
I have a question about acting.
What?
You know how, okay, like you were saying on a plane, you crave whatever. Do you crave, like, because sometimes I'll watch, like, I don't watch them that much, but like I'll see a Hallmark movie on or something. I'm like, oh, I just want to live in that world
Yeah.
for a minute. Do you ever crave that as an actress to be like, oh, I want to play something really cozy, like a Christmas movie or like a something, or do you crave like, I want to do something dark, like,
I would say I crave more like dark and raw because I think like I would say Heart of Dixie's more like, cozy vibes.
1,000% cozy vibes.
So I think going the opposite is something. This is really interesting. So a little bit ago, I went and Josh Schwartz asked me to go speak with him at Lee Strasberg Institute.
yeah.
So there was like a class of people starting out, writer, acting, whatever. And we were on stage and they were like asking, I'm like, they're going to ask me questions. Like, but it was really interesting and they had good questions. And a lot of it was just kind of navigating how to do it and get into it. And this one girl, this guy, was it a girl? Anyway, asked about what do you get excited about when you get these auditions or whatever? Is there anything that like,
Yeah.
you really want to do? And the more I thought about it, I was like,
No, I don't like acting.
I don't like
oh, I
this.
hate it. No, I was like, I want to do something really gritty.
Right.
And then I was like, or a musical.
Oh.
It's a 180 from Gritty.
Yeah, a little, like I like to dabble.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know?
is fascinating because it's like you did the cozy with Heart of Dixie,
Yeah, I would
which
say
is a comforting
it's
show.
and I'm
Yeah, I
starting
like
to wonder
that.
if I could show Briar an episode of it.
1,000%.
I have to figure out which one.
Oh, because you like make out with people?
No, I was thinking the medical stuff that gets kind of gross.
What?
Does it not?
Oh my God, you should see what my children watch.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I
I
mean,
know what
that's
your
not-
children watch.
I don't think that's that big. It's fake. You just explained to her that it's fake.
Well, I was thinking about the pilot, and there is like a makeout, and there is a baby delivery.
Yeah, but that's not
But
that
that's
intense.
fine.
It's fine.
Is there more?
It's the
They're
makeup.
not showing vaginal.
No.
No. I remember they put grape jelly on that baby to
Yeah,
make
and
it
there's
look
like a
like
crocodile.
after birth. There's a
I
crocodile.
showed it to Elliot when he was like 4. Literally
think I need
3
to-
maybe.
I need to
Elliot's
watch
been
it
watching
myself.
the Saw franchise.
Yeah, but like he definitely, I didn't have it.
I need to watch. I need to proof it. You know what I mean? I'm just curious. But anyways,
Yeah.
I feel like if her dad's going to show her Star Wars at some point, I can show her Art of Dixie.
That's what I'm saying. She hasn't seen Star Wars?
No. No.
Calvin's even seen Star Wars.
Really?
All my kids have been watching Star Wars since they were born.
Yes, they have.
That's like
Well, also,
Star Wars isn't
Yeah.
sketchy. I went to see Star Wars in the theater when I was like 3.
her dad plays like the villain.
She knows that's not real.
No, I know. I don't know. You know what? I have to tell you, I have never seen them.
Star Wars?
It's not
I've seen
scary.
like the original 70s like Star Wars.
But not
I've seen
any of the new
I've
ones.
seen
Some of the spin-offs.
what was the first one of the
The
Empire.
one with
Something.
Anakin?
Yeah, but
racing?
as a kid.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Okay.
But I haven't seen them, so I don't know. I've seen some scenes from them, but I don't know, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
I definitely think Briar's old enough to watch Star Wars.
But like I feel like his character like kills children.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, I get, does she understand the concept of things being fake? Like
She knows he's not a space
like she knows
warrior.
he's really not a space
You know what?
galactic
Jedi
I don't know.
warrior.
He might want to show her now, and she totally can't. Like, you know, she can absolutely like watch.
It's
Like
also
you just
handle it.
explain while it's happening. This is how we did
Of
it. That's
course,
like
of
a fake
course.
thing.
and also it's probably something he would want to show her, not
Yeah, of
you.
course. I'm not going to show her. He's going to show her. And if he feels ready, I support whenever
And
he
I could
feels
be
ready
way
to
off
show it to
because
her.
we're way off on what we show our
Yes,
kids.
correct.
And I understand that.
Correct. No, I'm totally fine with it if he feels like it's the right time because it's his call, you know?
Totally.
On that.
And then you can show Heart of Dixie in the OC whenever you want.
The OC, definitely not. But I was wondering about Art of Dixie.
That's going to be fun for her, though, when she's like a teenager and can watch the OC.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what age is appropriate.
Just
She's
like
gonna
you
watch
watching
it.
90210.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too young.
Yeah, but like she's going to be a teenager one
Yeah.
day.
For sure.
That's going to be cute and fun for her.
Yeah. Someday.
I'm not saying that needs to happen today.
I can't trust anything you say about how old watching things.
Calvin's been really wanting to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, no.
And
What's that again?
I don't know if they must have started remaking it because
rebooted it.
kids at his school are watching it, and he gets like scared and has nightmares, and we're like, "You're not gonna."
I know
watch
that's
this."
the thing. The nightmares thing is what makes it really hard. She doesn't handle scary things well. But I think if it's her dad, she's gonna know it's fake. So
It's
it's
going to
probably a lot
maybe it'll
easier.
be good for her
It'll be
because
good
then
for
she's
her.
like, oh, wow, this is
Yeah.
really not real.
Yeah.
Elliot was watching Transformers yesterday. I
Yeah.
mean, not Elliot, Shepard.
Oh, Calvin's not allowed to watch Transformers yet.
I don't know. But it was really cute because there's this scene with like this little boy and then this, I think it may be his brother, but he's like much older and kind of like, I think he plays like a guy that gets in trouble. And Shepard's watching it and he's like, his Dee Dee, like my brother. I was like, that's his Dee Dee. He's like, that's his Dee Dee. And I was like,
Aww.
oh, Shepard.
Oh, Sheppy Shep. What?
It's so cute. We went to the Topanga Social. Do you know what that is? So we went there.
The
and
things you do, and I have no idea you're
I know.
doing them.
Well, we went because they have this gluten-free pizza, D-Town pizza, which was like, it's like the thick
Yeah.
Detroit style pizza and they
Yeah,
have
I've had
gluten-free.
D-Town.
So good. It's really expensive though.
Mm.
I was like, Dude, one
$30 for
pizza was
pizza.
like $45 for
Oh, wow.
a like personal pizza, whatever. Anyways, we went and Shepard goes up to, they're doing music, like live music in the middle of the thing. And he goes up before while they're setting up, makes friends with one of the guys playing music. And so much so that the guy like brings him around and lets him flip the switches to like turn on the music and da da da. And Shepard's like fighting him and doing all this. By the time they went to play their set, the guy dedicated it to his friend Shepard.
No. He is the man about town, man. Like
I know.
anywhere he goes,
I know.
he's the man.
I was like, of course, this guy dedicated it
Of course.
to his friend Shepard, and he did his name sign.
Oh my God.
I know. That was really special.
That really gets me.
Yeah.
That kid, man.
More
Well,
importantly,
Shepard and Elliot can just reenact all of the movies for
Briar.
Briar.
Can we talk for a minute about what your guys' favorite pizza is and do like it thin, thick, like
Oh, you
top?
know what I had? That was so good.
What?
Okay. You've had Prince Street pizza?
I don't think so. Have I?
I don't know. But there was
Here?
it was like a thicker, it was a rectangle.
It's Detroit style.
At
Oh.
Prince, is it called Detroit style also? Because it's called that at Town, but I wasn't sure. Because I didn't, yeah, okay. It's rectangle, thicker, spicy sauce though. Like the tomato sauce
Like a
is
arrabbiata?
spicy. Yeah.
What did you call it?
Arrabbiata.
A what?
Arrabbiata.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Arrabbiata.
Oh,
and it had and then cheese and pepperoni, but with the spicy
Crispy.
and crispy.
thick little pepperonis.
Yeah, like really good pepperonis. It was so good.
Yeah.
Are
Prince
they
Street makes
crispy
good.
around the edges?
Yeah, they get crispy.
I
around
get the
edges.
chills. It's like ASMR. Like, tell me more.
Tell me about that food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tell me.
I was a big fan of that. Just saying.
What is your favorite style of pizza then?
I gotta be honest, you guys. I do love the like more Detroit style. Like I am a fan.
You've had Dough Daddies, right?
No.
Where's that? What is it?
It started as just some guy making pizza at his house during COVID.
Oh, really?
And you would have to like,
Wait, have I? Is
I
it
think
the
you
one in
have.
North Hollywood? And they were doing it out of like a tire station?
no, that's Weirdos.
Oh.
Zach,
we
I
write-
think, has maybe gotten Dough Daddies.
Can we write a list, Rob? Let's do
We need
like
to
a
do the
list
foodie
and do
list
a
of all the
food-
recommendations, Rob.
Please.
But yeah, so they make Detroit style. And it like when they were first starting, you had to like DM them to order, and then you had to like let them know when you were at this alleyway, and he would like come out with this like wagon with the pizzas, and and
What about the one in Echo Park?
quarter sheets. That's really good. Apollonia's.
What's
That's another
that?
really good one. These are all Detroit style in LA.
So
Town
you like
Detroit
the-
style.
you like that?
Town
like-
Detroit style.
I like
is good.
Detroit style, yeah.
Is town different than D-town?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Town is in
Town.
Eagle Rock.
Highland Park.
Highland Park. There's only one of
What's
those?
your favorite? I do love Baroni's. Can't top Baroni's.
Bronies
really.
is my favorite pizza.
Yeah, me too.
I'm obsessed with
That's
it.
my number one like
That's, like,
favorite.
my
Like, if
number
you
one
ever had to, yeah. Baroni's is a Valley staple here. Grew up on it.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It's different. I want you to come over and have it.
Yeah.
When I move, it's going to make it much easier. You will not have you'll be like 15 minutes away.
Me too.
You too. But you should definitely come over and have bronies.
Yep.
I don't know. That's my favorite. But then I also.
What kind of pizza
Baroni's.
is it?
It's just
It's
Like
just.
New
it's a
York?
rectangle.
No, it's a rectangle.
It's its own thing. You
It's its
can't-
own thing.
It's
It's
not
like
Detroit.
thin and
it's
almost-
not like New York style. It's its own thing.
And the
So good. Pepperoni's under the cheese.
yeah, the toppings are under the cheese.
Is it
But
thin crust? Thick?
No,
yeah, it's not thick.
It's not thick, but it's not like New York thin.
But it's kind of like crispy.
It's hard to. You
It's
have
hard
to
to
try it.
explain.
It's
It's not normal.
Is it
It's its
New
own
Haven?
thing.
Because there's
What do you
It's
say?
Ozzy's has a really good New Haven style.
It's not.
don't know what
it's
New
Valley
Haven-
style.
It's Valley style. It's really good. But I appreciate like the Detroit. I appreciate also like a thin New York style pizza.
It has to be
Chicago,
like
too, don't forget.
Chicago, but I don't know what
my
what's
favorite
Chicago?
New York style I had
Wait,
on
wait, wait.
Long Island.
You don't know what Chicago is?
Deep
Style?
Deep dish.
Deep dish?
Yeah. But I'm saying what here is that?
Gino's has it. Gino's East.
Gino's East, that's a Chicago chain.
Mhm.
Where is there Gino's East at?
In the Valley. Is it still there? It was on Riverside, I think, in the Valley.
There's Masa in Silver Lake. Does a Chicago deep dish. That's pretty good.
Gino's was good. I love it. That's a commitment, man.
So with deep
that's
dish and Detroit style are similar, right?
No,
They're different,
they're
though.
different.
Detroit's not as thick. Like, deep dish is like,
Thick and
Thicker.
just a ton of sauce on top.
yeah.
So
Sauce is on the top.
That's what D-Town did with sauce on the top.
But
I don't love the
it's-
sauce on the top.
Detroit style also has sauce on top, so it's hard.
It's a lot of sauce. You have to be a saucy guy for that.
Yeah, it's got to be a good sauce to do it.
I didn't
right,
love that.
too.
I liked it. I had to take most of the sauce off though. I don't like extra sauce on my pizza.
Do you do ranch dressing with certain
I do.
pizzas? Certain pizzas need it.
Brownies? I always
with
do ranch.
I don't need it with brownies, but some pizzas that are like mediocre pizzas, like I
I
need
like
ranch.
it.
I get a lot of shit because I eat pizza with a fork and knife.
You do,
What?
of course you do. You know what I don't do?
I don't
never do the
understand
New
that.
York fold. Do you do the New York
Never.
fold?
No, you just cut it.
You cut it. I don't fold it.
I don't fold it.
Yeah, I don't do the fold
No.
either. It just like muddles the flavors if you do that.
Yeah, I don't like to fold it.
I definitely don't like a fork and knife it.
I mean, that started, I think, from like my mom cutting my pizza at Sabaro's
Aww,
at the mall.
at the mall.
That was like my favorite
lit.
pizza place when I was a kid because we barely got to eat it. And then we go to the mall and get a slice of pizza and get cut up.
Yeah.
It just tasted better when it was cut up for some reason.
I cut my kids' pizza. You know what I
do?
learned the
Oh, I know this trick you're gonna
every
say.
time? Scissors.
Mhm.
I just anything I can cut with scissors now I do. Caitlin taught me that.
I know. Guess what?
What?
We talk every day.
We do. There's not
know
much.
this.
That's why when I'm like, you watched a movie?
I know.
And you're like, you went to the Topanga Social?
I know. We're like,
How
how,
did
do
we
we not
miss
know
that?
that? Weekends, sometimes we don't know because that's our only time we're like, we don't talk every second.
That's it.
Yeah.
We get
Things on
busy with the
weekends.
kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, I
Yeah.
have to go pick mine up from school. Rob's face.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a
Till
good
next
one.
year.
Till next year. Next week. Bye.